Welcome back, everybody. If you've been thinking about building your own home and you're tired of the usual mess, this episode is for you. Today we're breaking down the one-time close VA construction loan step by step, and I'm going to keep it plain, practical, and real.
And I'm here because I actually used one. I was nervous going in. I mean, building a home sounds exciting, but the financing part? That part had me sweating.
That is exactly why this matters. A lot of people love the idea of a custom home, but they get stuck on the process. They hear words like appraisal, draw schedule, contingency reserve, permanent conversion, builder approval, and they feel like they need a finance degree just to get started.
Yeah, no kidding. I thought it was going to be one of those things where I'd spend weeks bouncing between paperwork, phone calls, and surprise fees.
That's the old school headache. A proper one-time close VA construction loan is built to be cleaner. You close once, you build once, then the loan converts to permanent financing at completion. That alone changes the whole experience.
And let me say this right away. The biggest difference for me was peace of mind. I was not sitting there wondering if I'd have to reapply later, or if the whole thing would fall apart halfway through the build and lose the house.
Exactly. Security and stability are the name of the game. When a veteran starts a custom build, they need a financing structure that can hold steady while the house is going up. That's what this loan is designed to do.
So walk us through it like we're brand new.
Perfect. Let's go stage by stage. Stage 1 is pre-qualification and project review. We look at the veteran, the income, the credit, the land situation, and the overall plan. This is where we make sure the project makes sense before anybody starts spending money.
So basically, don't start building chaos and hope the lender figures it out later.
Exactly. We want a clean start. Stage 2 is builder and plan approval. Your builder matters, the plans matter, the specs matter. This is not just about liking a floor plan on paper. It has to be a real, workable project.
I remember that part. They wanted everything lined up early, and honestly, I liked that. It felt organized, not like somebody was winging it.
That organization is what protects you. Stage 3 is the one closing. That's the whole point of the one-time close structure. Instead of separate closings, separate stacks of fees, and a second round of stress, the process is wrapped into one deal.
That was huge for me. One closing, one approval path, less drama, less running around. It was a huge relief.
And let's talk about cost. One of the biggest wins is lower upfront cost. In the right structure, lender and admin fees are included in the loan. Draw inspection fees are handled in the process too. That keeps more money in your pocket at closing.
That was one of the reasons I moved forward. I didn't want a loan that claimed to be low cost and then hit me with a bunch of extra stuff at the table.
Right. And this is where veterans need to pay attention. Deceptive and inexperienced lenders talk low down payment, but then they want a big contingency fee brought to closing. That is not the same thing. If the contingency is truly built into the loan, that's one thing. If they're asking you for a pile of extra cash anyway, that's a different story.
So basically, when someone says low down payment, they should mean it.
Exactly, not low down payment plus surprise payment. A strong construction loan should include a contingency reserve inside the structure. That reserve is there for surprises, change orders, and those little things that always pop up in construction.
And trust me, stuff does pop up.
Every time. The good news is a contingency reserve keeps the project moving without stopping everything for reapproval, reclosing, and more fees. If you don't use the full reserve, that unused amount can reduce the final loan balance through principal reduction.
That part felt like a win-win. If we didn't need it, it still helped us in the end.
Exactly. Stage 4 is the build itself. As the home gets built, funds are released in draws after inspections. That means the builder gets paid based on progress, and the project stays accountable.
I liked that it wasn't just money flying out the door with no checks and balances. It felt controlled.
That's the point. It protects the veteran and the VA. Stage 5 is the interest structure during construction. Depending on the setup, your interest is escrowed into the loan, which means no monthly interest payments during the build.
That was such a breath of fresh air. Because while the house is being built, life doesn't stop. You still have bills, groceries, everything. This is one of my favorite parts. because I was terrified of getting stuck with a bad rate. And that's why the reserve matters. It creates stability. Finally, Stage 7 is the conversion to permanent financing. This is where the rate conversion advantage kicks in. You're telling me we had one change order that would have stressed me out big time if it wasn't already covered? Absolutely. And Stage 6 is the contingency reserve we talked about. It is, honestly, one of the most important parts of the whole file because construction is not always perfectly predictable. Materials, weather, labor, little changes, all of that can happen.
And that's where a good one-time close VA construction loan stands out. Some deceptive and unethical lenders force veterans to lock way too early and then charge extra extended lock fees for the privilege. That can be expensive and stressful. A better structure lets the loan float during construction and then convert at completion with a rate cap guarantee.
So if rates go down, you can benefit. And if they go up, you're protected.
Exactly. That is real security. It gives you flexibility without exposing you to unnecessary risk.
I'm glad you said that because that was the piece that finally made me say, okay, this makes sense. This is the right move.
And that is how a veteran should feel. Not confused, not cornered, not bullied into the wrong structure, confident.
Can I say something blunt? If you're building and somebody is making it sound like you need to do some weird double-closed maze just to get to your own house, I'd be calling you guys at 888-857-8041.
I'm glad you called us. A veteran should never be pushed into a more expensive setup just because the lender is more comfortable selling that version and gouging the veteran with extra fees because they don't have experience with the true VA construction loan. The goal is the best structure for the veteran.
That was my biggest lesson. The right loan doesn't just get you financed, it protects your sanity.
Exactly. And if you're a veteran who wants to build from the ground up, you need a team that understands the process from start to finish. This is not the place for guesswork.
Or for lenders pretending they know what they're doing.
Right. If the lender cannot clearly explain builder approval, draw schedules, contingency reserves, and conversion to permanent financing, that's a sign to move on.
So what should somebody do if they're serious right now?
Call 888-857-8041 and talk through the project. Don't wait until the plan is half finished and the timeline is already getting tight. The earlier you get the structure right, the smoother the entire build goes.
I'd second that. Seriously, if you're thinking about building, don't just sit on the idea, make the call. We almost sat on the project because we were so scared and confused by the deceptive and inexperienced lenders out there. I'm glad we didn't and called you guys.
And remember, the best builds start with clarity. One loan, one closing, one path to the finish line.
And a lot less stress.
A lot less stress.
If I had to sum it up, I'd say this loan helped turn a huge dream into something that felt manageable.
That's the goal. A custom home should feel exciting, not terrifying, and the financing should support that from the start.
So if someone's listening and thinking, maybe this is finally my chance, what do you say?
I say don't keep guessing. Call 888-857-8041 today and get the facts. Let's see if the loan fits the home you want to build.
That's it. No more renter stress, no more spinning your wheels, just start.
For more helpful videos on how we can help you achieve your dream home, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also put your questions below in the comment section. Don't forget to call us at 888-857-8041.